Hey guys, and welcome back. Yesterday at Octo, I picked up almost free a 36 horsepower motor. Let's take a look at it. It was missing just a couple things. Here's the bails for the valve covers. So those are there because I'm going to be missing those. Here's the shroud. There's the long or the short block, and I got an extra generator. So really, it was free if you figure the generators, okay? So I basically, what I paid for the generators, I got the rest of it for free. So we're going to consider that free. How's that? The piece I'm missing. Valve covers. This one's a bit rusty. Got some evapor rust for that. And the other rocker, I'm missing the little things on the tops of them, which was a drag. It did come with this thing, which is handy. Couple of pieces of cylinder tin. Okay. And then I think did I end up with an extra fan? I think so. Because that generator had fan on it. And here's the long block. I mean, all the rods move, but I can't get it to turn over. It might have just been sitting for a while. So let's tear it down. It looks like it has a 17 millimeter oil pump on it. So that might be the issue. Probably lost oil to the main bearings. The 17s were just marginal. That was just barely, I don't even know why they use that. I mean, later years, I think they used 21s, but the early ones, they were 17. Crap. And it came with, one of the generators came with a regulator, so, I mean, I could get lucky. I mean, that generator looks pretty new. We will be finding out later on that, but main reason for this video, let's take a look at this engine, see what we ended up with. Well, there's everything we got. So, we'll look at it this way. So anyway, let's kind of inventory it all as we look at it. Got both valve covers. We got the bails, the cylinder tin. The rear tin is right here. I know I have the back one. I don't know if I have the front one. Maybe, maybe not. And everything you see here was basically at a I can't pass it up price of $50. So there's just no way I could not buy this for 50 bucks. But we don't know if that block is any good. So then that could be a boat anchor. The way I look at it is, look, the cylinder tin, the rockers, maybe the little thing here is probably worth 50 bucks. And this fan shroud, I do have oil coolers, so that's no big deal. I don't know if 36 are different than the others, which that might be an issue, but I don't know. Let's find out. Let's tear this apart and then see. I've got there's a pulley on there. I don't know if that's the correct one. Is it? Experts. They beat the hell out of it already. Look. They missed. You're supposed to hammer. You're going to put a punch back here. You hammer on where there's two layers. Yeah, but it might be bent. So that might be an issue. I don't know. That might be a 40 horse pulley. I don't know what the difference is. So anyway, no fuel pump. It's kind of a bummer. But anyway, that's what we've got. Let's look and see. I don't know what year that is. 226 5926. I think that's a 57, 58. I think mine's earlier than that. I don't have my case here, so I don't know. I'll have to look at the numbers real quick. All right, so we got up in the stand. I'll take it apart. Just see what's in it. All right, let's pull the pistons out. These are pure junk, so we're just going to throw them straight into the trash. So, not worried about that. I just spit on it with a little something. I have to pull this side out too. Just remembered. All right, wish me luck. Think it's going to go? Try it this way. I think I'm going to have to get a little more specific on what I spit on it with. Let's try some Freol. Let that soak for a little while. A few items here. This one might come loose on this side. I know you guys can't see it. Let me just see. Somebody took the pins out of here and he started to do it. It's moving. You have to put some Freol on it. It'll sit for long enough and it'll free that sucker up. I might have boogered it up trying to take it apart to somebody. Who knows? I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Oh, 5 minutes with Freol on it. Let's see. Definitely moving. First whack was WD-40 and it didn't do anything. Extension's probably going to be wasted. A little Freol took care of everything. What do you guys think? That ain't going back on there ever. Well, I'm not even going to be nice to it. Case I am. I'm not hurting the case. This pump, I could give two craps about. All right, what do we see in here? Not loose. Maybe. So it's colored. Not much to these cams. To get that crank out of there, just tap on it a little right here or something. It feels like that rod is loose. Doesn't feel like it's just side to side. It feels like getting a little up and down, but so maybe that's the reason. Well, 17 millimeter pump. Okay, that's good for about, I mean, until it gets a little bit of wear. You know, it's good for a little while. As soon as that thing starts to wear a little bit and you get oil leaking out of anywhere, a little bit of oil seeping more than it should, there's not enough volume of oil to adequately oil this engine at like over 4,000 RPMs. So I don't know. If you guys want to run one of these, go for it, but I'm not. All right, well, it looks like maybe a good case. Again, there's no case wear here, in here. I don't think these 36s really wiped out cases. This is really smooth. There's no ridge here at all. Remember, the oil goes right here. So if the oil's going right here, it's going to have a little bit of like an oil surface, but there's no ridge. The bearings, I pulled one off here. Let's put it in there. Feel how tight it is. Might be all right. I don't know. Look, these things only go, look at how close this is to the stud here. All right. These go 20 and 40. All right. 20 and 40. That sucker, it ain't very far away from that stud. So you can only go 2 machines on these things. So what I've heard, a lot of guys just don't line bore them because of that, you know. I'm having mine checked. I don't know on my other motor if you know what they said is if it's already been line bored once, then they're just going to drop a crank in it with some brand new bearings and tighten it down and see if it spins okay. If it spins good and it's not seasoned, then just run with it. That's what they said. So at the machine shop. So that's what their suggestion was. They don't have cam bearings in these. Doesn't feel like there's a lot of wear. Yeah, it looks like a good case, maybe. Hard to say. Probably be able to clean this one up and use it. There's no sledge in the bottom. Both halves. Let's look at the other half. Look at this one. You can see the bottom of the case. I can zoom you guys in a little. Let's see. And it's just kind of sludgy, but it's like that thick black stuff. It wasn't left outside. There was no water in the bottom here. You don't see that milk. You don't see the corrosion. You know, on these 36s, I don't think these things were really, really tight. I don't think they were. It's not super loose. And the bearing stayed in the case when I took the case half off, so that tells you that's a good sign. On your other engines, if you pull it out and the bearings just all fall out of the middle, you know that case definitely needs a line bore. I mean, almost every time we would line bore them anyway on the 1600s, and because you'll feel a little tiny bit of ridge in the middle. Like you see one right here, but it's just oil. That's just oil. It's not even a ridge. You can wipe it off, and then there's nothing. It's perfectly smooth. So, have they taken 10,000 off? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they did. Some might have been done once. It doesn't look like the engine's ever been apart. Not from the looks of it. But if you see, look at how close that is to the... Let's see. I mean, that's got to be like 80 thousandths or, you know. So when you take off, when you line bore it, you take off 10 thousandths off of the whole surface. So that's 10 over here and 10 over there. That's a total of 20. Okay, that's what they call it, 20, 40, and 60, or 0.25 millimeter. It's almost exactly the same amount of material. It's just how you measure it. And that's the, so we call it 20, 40, 60. The Europeans call it 25, 50, 75, and that's in metric. And it comes out to, you know, I don't know, a couple tenths difference, or I mean, couple 10 thousandths difference, something like that. I don't know. I don't know how we do it, if we do it by the actual 20, 40, 60. Hey, this one here has a pickup thing on it. I don't think my other case, I think my other one just had a tube, didn't have this thing here. Maybe it did. I don't remember it. I thought it was just a tube. So maybe this is a later case. I looked up the number on it, and I don't know. I got to look it up again, because maybe I'm looking at, maybe this is a bus case. I don't know. You guys ought to comment that. I don't know how to tell the difference on these. It's the numbering, I think. But there's a lot of good parts in here. Definitely could use some of this stuff if I decide to do another one of these. Or, you know, give it away to somebody else pretty much for what I paid for it. I didn't pay much, $50. You know, that's for that whole pile of stuff. So figure could definitely use it somewhere. All right, that's it for the teardown. Anyway, we'll see what we'll do with this. Maybe we could do a. I'm going to end up with a crankshaft. I'm going to have a good crank over there. I'm going to have. I don't know. Maybe I can get a good cam. I think these cams, almost, they're just so small. 290 lift. I don't know what the duration is. I think it's 225 or 220 duration. It advertised, or it would be probably 220 or 216 or something like that, at 0.050, something like that. Crazy small cam. So bigger cam in this thing would make a big difference. But if you have these heads, these heads with a small intake port, yeah, never going to get that much power out of this engine unless you go with the dual port ones. Dual port ones make a huge difference. All right, we'll talk to you guys in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe.